Every sales rep's got a plan until they get punched in the face, as Mike Tyson famously said. This is part 4 of a part 5 series around how to achieve sales call excellence. If you're losing deals, deals are stalling, not hearing back from people, not winning as big of a deal as you like, this is going to help you because it comes down to how you execute your sales calls, your discovery calls, your demos, all of the above. So this is part 4. I've already covered framing, behavior, and execution. This is how you handle adversity in your calls. So I'm going to walk through is, well, what is it? Why you should think about it the way I'm going to explain it to you, and then how. And real quick, on the how, I want to hit it from both the hard skills and the soft skills because there's a difference, okay? So first is the what. When you think about adversity, naturally people think objections. Objections is one thing, right? People are not on board with what you're proposing. They disagree with you in some way, shape, or form. This is some type of wrench in the plan that you have. So this is what you want to think about is how do you handle it? Why should you care about this? Well, if you're working in complex enterprise software sales, there's a reason why people that are really good at this type of sale make high 6 figures and even 7 figures at top performers. It's because there's a million reasons why a deal can't get done, right? And only one real way to make sure the deal does get done. So you have to understand that with every single one of those variables that get introduced to the sale increases the risk of it not being sold. That's why they make a lot more money in enterprise versus SMB, because there's a lot more reasons why deals don't get done. And because of that, a lot more opportunities for adversity in their deals. So that's why it's so important for you to understand not only how to do from a hard skill, but also a soft skill. So let's break down the hard skills. So I have a couple frameworks that I work with. One's an 8-step, but today I'm going to give you a simple one. It's my 3-step framework, and it's AIA, okay? So A stands for acknowledge, then it's isolate, then it's answer. And that's the hard, and then I'll get to the soft skills. So acknowledge. Step 1, whenever you're getting an objection, getting a concern, getting an adversity, you have to appreciate the fact that they're communicating in the first place because they don't have to share that with you. So I always like to help them understand that they feel heard and literally say, I appreciate you sharing that concern. Right? That's a great way to help disarm and diffuse the situation because what a lot of reps do is they immediately go on to try to fight them. And when you acknowledge it, you're not trying to fight them. You're trying to understand the situation more. And when someone's approaching me trying to understand my concern versus trying to just talk it away, then I'm going to feel like they're genuinely trying to help me and not trying to sell me. So you have to have some type of acknowledging statement. And that's it before you move on to the next part, which is isolating. So isolating, this is where you can ask clarifying questions. Clarifying question could be, hey, I appreciate you sharing that concern. Aside from that, is there any other concerns that you have? Right. So we want to flesh out each of those concerns and understand how many of them are, the magnitude of them. And because of that, that's going to help you understand where you focus your time and energy on addressing them. Because what a rep commonly does to make the mistake in this situation is they assume when they get a concern, they assume, they're going to ask out of you and me, that that's the only concern. Or that it's even a major concern. Sometimes they'll try to do overkill or something that's a little question, little concern, but not a big deal. So if you can understand what that concern is it the only concern and how big of a concern it is, that's really going to help you understand the situation that you're in and how to respond to that. So a couple questions you could ask, is that the only concern that you have? Aside from that, if we were able to address that, would you feel comfortable moving forward? That's going to help you understand that. When you would rank those concerns you just shared with me, what's number 1, 2, 3? What's a need to have? What's a nice to have? Is that a deal breaker? These are questions you can ask to help flesh this out a little bit more and isolate what the real concern is and what the real objection is. And then after you isolate, this is when you go to answer it. There's a right and wrong way to answer it. That's why I'm going to get to the soft skills in a minute. But answering it is simply just answering the concern, addressing the concern based on the information that you have, the information that you know, and what you know about them and their goals, and help them feel comfortable with that. Because the reason why people are concerned is because they see risk. And if someone sees risk, they're not going to move forward. So your whole goal with how you address their concerns is de-risk the decision as much as humanly possible for them. And that's why you need to acknowledge and isolate before you answer, because we really need to understand the full situation before we try to answer it, okay? So that's the AIA framework that I like to think about to help there. Now, real quick before I go into the soft, if you work in software sales and you would like me or someone on my team to listen to your calls, hear how you're handling objections, hear how you're running discovery calls, or you're just trying to raise your game in general, there should be a link in my bio or in this video to book a call to meet with me or my team. We can learn about your situation and see if we can help you, just like we've helped hundreds of other software sales reps, okay? So let's dig into the soft skills. Well, when you think about the soft skills, this is where it's not only what you say, but it's more importantly how you say it. So I want to give you a couple of questions to chew on and assess for yourself next time you listen to your calls, or you have a friend or me or my team listen to your calls for this. Number one, when you get an objection, do you pause? Do you take it in, or do you just jump in to respond? This is important. You want to give yourself a second to process what you're hearing, and you want to give them some space to feel heard. So real quick, did you pause? Number two, were you confident when you did answer their objection? If you sound timid or you sound uncertain, then you're not going to help them feel confident that this has been resolved. Now, if you don't have enough information to feel confident in answering their objections or addressing their concerns, well, that means you probably have some homework to do, something you have to take back to your team to get back to them, and that's totally okay as well. But even being confident in hey, I don't know the exact answer to that question, but let me get with my team and I'll have an answer for you in 24 hours. That's a confident response that will help them feel comfortable that, all right, you're okay saying you don't know the answer, which is great for credibility and trust, and you're going to get back to them quickly, right? That goes a long way. But when you're addressing the concern, tonality, how you sound, this is very important for them to feel like you know what you're talking about. If you went to your doctor's office and you had some knee pain, and when they go to prescribe what to do, and they say, we got this knee pain, I think this is the right thing to do because we've done it with some other clients and some other people have knee pain, and it's kind of worked. So I think that would work for you. So how does that sound to you? You're not going to feel very good about that doctor. You're going to get a second opinion. Little things like this matter. How you communicate, how concise you are. This is going to help them feel comfortable that you're the right person to work with them to help them solve their problem. Did you seek to understand before responding? This goes in the isolation. But really helping them understand just from a tonality standpoint. Hey, I appreciate you sharing this with me. Just so I can understand and be aligned with you on this concern, can you elaborate on that? Just to make sure, because I don't want to miss anything, because I know this is important for you. So it's not just the words that I say, but it's how I say them and my ability to seek to understand before I respond to them, okay? Now, after you responded, did you get certainty and get clarity that you addressed their concerns? Hey, I just walked you through how we've addressed this with other clients. Does that address your concern? Or do you still have some outstanding words that we can elaborate further on? Are you taking the time and really pausing and showing emphasis on how you get clarity with them? That's going to go a long way to help them know that you're not just here to talk away their concerns, but you genuinely have empathy for them and you want them to feel comfortable and confident moving forward. You're not trying to force anything, okay? So those are the big things I want you to think about. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. This is part 4, part 5 series, but I put videos like this out every week for software sales reps, help them increase their results and take control of their career. Have a good day.